Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So I wanted to follow up on my previous video that I had done, um, and I have been part of some Facebook groups for potential flight attendants for either just in general or specific airlines. And there were a lot of consistent questions that I saw in there that people were having, and also questions that I got messaged about from the last video that I figured why not talk about because it might be helpful. These are the things that I was passed on to me by friends of mine who are flight attendants that have gone through this. And this is the feedback that I've gotten from multiple people, and it seemed to have helped me. I was fortunate enough with one of the other airlines that I applied with. I did get a job offer from them, which was fantastic. I'm super excited about it. I accepted the job offer, which is great. But moving forward with the interview, typically you are going to a group interview first. The group interviews usually consist of you talking in front of a group of people. Either it can be a small group or a very large group. And from there, of course, then they do minor break, and then they do individuals. Usually, though, after the group interview, they will scoop out some people and say, nope, you're not going forward. The rest of you guys will do one-on-one interviews with. So, super important, make sure you bring lots of water, snack food to snack on. There are a lot of Facebook groups out there for potential flight attendants, both potential flight attendant careers in general, and then specific airlines. If you're curious about one specific airline in particular, there's a lot of Facebook groups out there. I definitely highly recommend joining them. I joined them. They were very informative, with people asking questions. It's also nice to kind of know people are going through the same thing as you. I actually found some of the people that were in my interview processes on there, and we connected and kind of talked about, oh, have you gotten your CJO letter yet? Have you not? Have you gotten your denial? What's going on? The biggest other thing is making sure appearance is super important. There were a lot of people asking about nail colors, jewelry, jackets, blouses or shirts, what to wear, hair colors, things like that. You really want your hair color to be natural. Mine is highlighted, but in a natural color, so that's good. You don't want to do random like pink, blues, greens for an interview. Don't do that. I wear a full suit with a tie. That is what they recommend. That is the best thing to do. With ladies, I recommend, and what I've been told is make sure you wear like some kind of stockings. You wear usually the colors is navy, gray, or black. Don't wear a dress or a shirt that has multiple patterns on it that are multiple colors. Keep it very simple and basic. Don't do shoulderless. Make sure it has a shoulder, as well as either wearing a sweater or a jacket. The reason being is that when you're interviewing, the moment you walk into check-in, they are beginning to interview you. They want to see and get a vision of what you're going to look like in their uniforms. My recommendation, what I do is I go and I I Google search the airline, and I kind of take a look at their uniform colors or airline colors. That is what I base my outfits on. You do want to kind of dress the part of what a flight attendant for them already looks like. For example, Delta right now, they just switched from, they have the purple and black, and they have some reds, I believe, still in there. You would not want to wear some random, like, yellow to that interview as a yellow shirt or whatever. So if I was going to that, I'd probably wear a white shirt with a purple tie, or a kind of a purple shirt with maybe a white bow tie with a black or gray suit. It encompasses what their airline colors are, so when you come for the interview, they're going to envision it. Same with, for instance, SkyWest. When I interviewed with them, I wore a gray suit with a blue shirt and a red tie. The reason for that is they work, of course, with multiple airlines, and it wasn't specifically their uniforms, because their uniforms are much just black, and then they use accessory pieces depending on what airline you're flying for that specific day or what base you're based out of. So I wore blue. It was a dark blue, more of like the Alaska/American colors, and I wore a red bow tie, which covers the Delta side of SkyWest that they work for. So those are my recommendations. Wear a watch, because you are required as a flight attendant to have a watch on. So wear a watch. Dress shoes, of course. My interview, one girl showed up in flip-flops, and they did not even interview her. So make sure you dress extremely professionally. You cannot overdress for this interview. Other thing, of course, is tattoos. They cannot be visible on hands, neck, behind the ears, face, even the smallest little dot. They will not even interview you. So those are a couple things. Airlines, more and more, I'm finding and I've been hearing that they are paying to fly people out, which is great. You usually have to pay for your own accommodations. One thing is, just so you know, with so many people applying and how many people they're doing face-to-faces with, when I had mine, they told me typically you are supposed to receive your flight information 3 to 5 days prior to takeoff. Then you'll receive your interview information about 3 to 5 days before. You receive your flight information, then you'll receive your interview information. They were like, but we are super delayed. They're like, you might get your flight information the day before you fly out. They said, that's just how it is. And that was a question I saw a lot in the Facebook groups of people asking, I haven't got my flight information yet. Why? My recommendation to you is, if you know the location of your interview, go to the airline's website, search for flights of that day out of your home airport, or the biggest airport that they asked you where you'd be flying out of. So if you live in a small airport and they don't fly there, they're going to say you need to fly out of a big airport. And do that. And so go to their website, take a look at the flights. It'll give you a good sense of what you're going to be flying, especially if you are flying in that morning, the interview's that afternoon. You're clearly going to be in a morning AM flight that gets you in there before the afternoon sessions start. If you are in an afternoon session or a morning session, they might fly you out the day before, which is, they will tell you, so you will know, and then it'll give you a good sense. That's what I did. And when I was on the phone with them, when they were scheduling it, they said, the recruiter was like, these will probably be your flights, but the corporate people have to file them, and then they will send the itinerary to you. What he told me was a little bit different than what I was getting, but I had already looked online, so I knew exactly what flights of the day were flying out of Seattle to where I was going, and what flights back the following afternoon were going. So I was able to plan my schedule around that, and I already knew what I was going to be getting. So those are really good things to note. Have your passport, have your resume with you as well. Super important to bring with you to your interview as with you. I'm trying to think of what other questions. Typically, they will provide you with hotel information, discounts. Some airlines don't provide you the interview location until about 24 hours to 72 hours before the interview process is, because it's a secretive place. So that was a little bit of a frustration for me, because typically they try to do it near the airport for hotel shuttles and things like that. So I just, on a whim, just booked a hotel. Thankfully, it was actually across the street from where my interview was going to be. But if you're farther away, you're going to have to figure out your own accommodations of how to get for housing and how to get to and from the interview facility and then from the airport and back. It's an annoying unknown that they don't give you until right beforehand. You just have to deal with it. They're not going to tell you anything else until everything's finalized. With the interview, if they invite you to your face-to-face interview, accept it right away and email them back, because if you wait and then you're like, yes, I would like to do it, they could tell you, well, sorry, we're busy. We're full that day. You're going to have to wait now. And all of a sudden, your start date, just if you get CJO, it just got pushed back because of the interviews. Something so basic like that can cause a delay. And especially a lot of people are really trying to get to them right away, to start. Another recommendation that I have is look at the airline bases that the airline operates out of. You can Google search the airline that you're looking for, flight attendant crew bases. Typically, we'll pull all of them up right there. Or when you're applying for the position, on their job description, it will tell you what it is. So look back at that. I did some research on different cities so that I know what bases I might be living in, because you do not know where you're going to be going once you finish training. You typically only have 3 to 5 days to transition from training to your new base, get housing, and start working. So it is a very quick process. Thankfully, usually when you finish training, you are with a group of people, so you can get a crash pad. You guys can rent an apartment together, figure that out. I wanted to look for different locations. I wanted the best price point. I currently live in downtown Seattle right now. That's because I work in downtown. I don't want to commute into the city and things like that. With being an airline, with the airlines being a flight attendant, my mentality is now shifting. I don't want to live in the city anymore anyway. I want to live next to the airport. I want a super convenient, close commute to the airport. Right now, I'm only like 15 miles from my airport, but it is a 45 to an hour commute from the time I leave my door to the time I'm at the airport. If you have a 2-hour window to show up to the airport, that is not much time, because if you are gone, like out at lunch, and you're 20 minutes from your house, you still haven't packed, or you're not ready and you have to shower and get ready for your trip, you have an hour to do that. If there's traffic delays, all of a sudden you're delayed showing up to work, and that is, especially on probation, that's not a good thing. So my mentality is stay near the airport, commute into the city if you want to hang out and do things like that. Especially for me, my thoughts, and a lot of my friends kind of talked with me about this. When you're on your layover, you're usually going out, you're usually doing things. So when you come home, you're wanting to do laundry, you're wanting to relax. So you're not really wanting to be like, let's go out and hang out with friends. It does happen, of course, but it's not as much as if you were living in that city where you're based in now. So my mentality is live by the airport, have a super 10, 15-minute max commute to the airport, even by public transportation, and then take the longer 25, 30, 45-minute public transportation commute into the city if I want to go partying or want to go out for dinner with friends or things like that. So a couple of things to keep in mind. They do tell you how much you are going to get paid monthly based on the hours, based on reserve. So that is something to keep in mind also when trying to budget post-training. What will housing look like? What will all that look like? Especially once you get your CJO, really look into it so that when you're at training, because you're not going to have much time when you're in training to look at housing, and then when you finish training, you're going to have, short amount of time to figure things out. So kind of looking at each individual base, kind of get a set of like, these are great places to live. These are, things that I like, so that when you're at training and they say, hey, great, you 15 or you 5 or whatever are going to this place, you can be like, hey, I've already looked at some places. What do you guys think? Do you guys want to, go in on it? And all of a sudden, you just made your transition super easy. Otherwise, you're stressing out. So those are a couple of things that I have been noticing over the last couple of days. Be early. Early is on time to your interviews. Don't be late. They will shut the door, lock the doors. You will no longer be interviewed anymore, and that would be horrendous. So it's something to think in mind there. But if you have any other questions about what kind of else you should be prepared for with an interview, definitely don't hesitate to ask. 2 big things that I was told from my friends who are flight attendants that really benefited me, that really airlines looking for, they're concerned about customer service and they want customer service experience, yes, but they want safety. Safety is always going to be number 1 priority in everything that you're going to do. Training is mainly going to be about safety. They want to know how you're going to react in situations to a scenario, and how quickly you can think on your feet. Those will be kind of interviewing questions that they'll be asking. If you do video interviews, that is something to try to tie into, is safety. Even something super basic is safety. I had one question of, am I okay living at one of the crew bases, and would I be willing to relocate? Well, yes. The answer was yes. And I talked about safety of, if I'm commuting from Seattle to wherever my base is, I will be showing up to work tired. And as a result, I'm not going to be able to be wide awake to provide the best service to customers, as well as be alert to any safety situations that happen on board the aircraft during my shift and my trip, whatever that is. So not commuting and living where I'm based provides me with rest. I'm close to the airport. I don't have to stress. And as a result, I can be alert for safety issues that might arise. And that was the best way to answer that question. And it was the airline that I did that video interview, I've never seen that question asked of just, are you willing to relocate to one of the bases? It's a very simple yes answer, but you have 2.5 minutes to respond to it, and you don't want to just say yes. You want to elaborate and figure out how you can tie it into something else that the airlines can say, ooh, that's a really good answer, and makes you stand out. Because otherwise, it's like, oh yeah, he said yes, okay, next person. And all of a sudden you're forgotten about. Really think about the answers that you're going to give. Each airline is different what they ask. There's no one set way that you're going to be asked questions. But if you think customer service and you think safety, you think those 2 things, that will get you through your interviews, both on the phone, in video interviews, and in-person interviews there. Make sure you are super sociable with the Facebook groups. I absolutely love, because when I went to my interview, I was nervous. I'm kind of a shy person unless I know somebody. And so when you're going to an interview and you don't know anybody in a city that you don't even know, it's a little nerve-wracking. So joining these Facebook groups, they have a lot of individual chats that say, hey, I'm going to this training, or this I'm going to this face-to-face interview in this city on this date. and they create a group chat for it. And everybody that's going can join that. And was super great because I was like, hey, I'm coming from Seattle. Is anybody else coming from Seattle? There was nobody, unfortunately. In my group chat, there were 6 people coming from Chicago, and all of them happened to be sitting near each other, and they didn't know who each other were. They're like, hey, let's grab coffee before we get on the plane. We can talk about things. We'll commute to the hotels together, even though we're staying in different hotels. A big thing too, if you are coming in the night before, my recommendation and what I did with my group is I was like, hey guys, let's grab dinner. Let's hang out by the pool. I don't mind hosting in my hotel room for us to hang out. It's great. Airlines want to see how you adapt and how you connect with people. And so if you're able to go into the interview the next morning or next afternoon and you know 6 to 10 people already, you are helping your likelihood, because it's super awkward going into an interview. You're petrified out of your mind. All of a sudden you have to be super perky and smiley. You're trying to meet new people and everyone else is talking and it's just chaotic. So if you already have a group of people that you're like, hey, we're going to meet at 6:45 in the lobby of this hotel. We're going to walk to the interview together, check in together. We're going to hang out together and kind of be that niche group. It's going to help you a lot. It's going to help your nerves. They're going to love seeing that you've already made a connection with people that were strangers to you before. Either you met them online or in person, just randomly in the lobby, and you're like, hey, I'm actually going to the interview too. Do you want to hang out? So my recommendation is make friends, because you will need them. It is a big, big positive to you. You can cheer each other on. You can be that support group. And so that was a big benefit to me. So sorry, it was super sporadic of like the things I was talking about. I kept remembering things that I should be saying and adding. So it's just kind of all jumbled together. But hopefully that helps. If you have any other questions, let me know. I'm super happy to try to answer them the best I can. I'm going to try with my airline that I'm going to go with to record and kind of talk about how training went without saying too much, of course, because I can't, but try to provide as many answers to questions of face-to-face interviews of what training was like, how to best prep for training so that you can be successful in it, and then of course post-training, what all that looks like with the afterlife, as I've been calling it, since it is a little nerve-wracking that you're saying goodbye to your friends and family, significant other in the city you're living in. You're like, I'm going to go to training for 3 weeks to 2 months, and after that I have to go right into work at my new city, and that could be completely across the country, and it's a little nerve-wracking. So I'm going to hopefully try to encompass all of these things to try to answer as many questions as possible. There's a lot of other great YouTube videos out there that are much more helpful than mine are. I learned a lot from, but I'm hoping that this is an additional help to each of you. So best of luck to anybody else that is applying to be a flight attendant. I hope you get your CJOs, and hopefully we'll maybe potentially work with you someday. But like I said, again, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and if you have any questions, just let me know. I'm super happy to try and answer them. Well, have a good day, guys. Bye!